about a 20-minute session. So it's either with Mick in the altitude room or on the bike simultaneously. Mick for 20 odd minutes, quickly into the pool. Let's make it count, okay? Whatever you do, let's do it with some quality. Let's have it blow. Let's get it out of the system, let's get it right, and then you've got the rest of the day to recover, and tomorrow we come back and get it right on Monday. We'll pick up and we move on.
We had a morning conditioning session this morning. Yeah, obviously these weeks are pretty important for recovery. We've had a pretty solid 4 or 5 weeks of practice against, Geelong, Richmond and Gold Coast. So yeah, I guess it's been a good little break this week, and obviously coming off quite a big loss has given us a bit of time to reflect and really improve in those areas which came unstuck on Friday night. So I think all the boys are looking forward to the weekend off. It's a good time to relax and just hang out with your mates and your family. It's now 8:30 and I'm just off to the Crown Market to pick up a few things. So park the car.
As a mother, he's just one of 3 children, and food is the major part of his life. That's one of my interests. I love cooking. And
this is a new experience. So Pino supplies all the fruit and veg for the family. This is how he got to be so big.
I think you've made a connection with all the players, and mate, we're wrapped that you're out here tonight with us. We've got full confidence in what you're going to do, so well done.
Well, obviously debuting as a goal for every young kid. Yeah, it's the culmination of a lot of years, and you kind of don't understand the importance of the debut. It's kind of, obviously each week it's pretty tough for the club and you just take 1 week at a time. But I was reasonably happy with how I started. But I guess it's all about consistency, and I guess over the past year I've held consistency pretty important to me, and it's pretty important to hold your spot on the team. And I guess if you perform consistently, then it's kind of hard to get you out of the team. So I guess that's my goal, is just consistently work week in, week out, is just perform, play my role for the team.
We were very proud of him, and I was very proud to see him run out. I think initially, as any mother, the biggest fear is that he survives the game. And I think straight away I knew he was going to be fine. As soon as I sort of watched the first 20 minutes, I thought, well, he knows what he's doing. He looks like he should be there. He doesn't look like he's out of his depth. So I felt quite relaxed after that.
Kicks inside the forward 50, alone on an island down there as Langdon does well. Well done, young fella, and again, Valentine, quality opposition. He's booted 3, he's in form, he's confident. Young Langdon beat him. He's been impressive so far, this young man. Overlooked in the initial draft he was eligible for, so this is something. Round 1.
So obviously I missed out on the 2012 draft, which was pretty shattering to me, and I was pretty upset, obviously, because it's what you dream of for so many years.
It was a horrible feeling. But, in hindsight, I think it was something that perhaps has been really good for Tom.
Self and then Long. Langdon, clever. Well done, son.
He got up sort of within 24 hours, put on his runners and went for a run. And I think then we realised that he was not going to let this get him down.
Hill floating forward. Well done, Langdon. I mean, not many bright things have come out of tonight for Collingwood. That young fella is one of them.
So I guess that was pretty hard to overcome, but once I did, and I understood what went wrong in that year and what I needed to improve on, I guess you could move forward, and I guess that's what I did. Leading into the 2013 draft, I guess I was probably more confident, I guess, with my performances, but at the same time, it's obviously a lot harder to get drafted at 19 because you've already been through the system and they've already looked at you, and I guess a lot of clubs say, well, you've got to perform a lot better than the 18-year-olds, and I guess they've got a bit more of a leeway, which I was fine about, and so I guess I wasn't that confident either years, because you can never be too confident because you never know what's going to happen.
Selection 65, Collingwood.
Player 213, 234, Tom Langdon, Sandringham Dragons, Old Melburnians Football Club.
Yeah, I just decided on draft day, just to sit in my car and just listen to it by myself, because it was last year I was with my family and just the tension was too big, so I just decided to sit by myself, and I guess if it was going to happen, if it was going to happen, but if it wasn't, I guess I was just going to have to deal with that, and I was more happy dealing with that by myself.
I think in Tom's case that there was a real increased level of maturity in the player and a real realisation of the amount of work that was going to be required for Tom to go and potentially play AFL footy. He predominantly played through the midfield, and he was statistically the second highest possession winner in the competition. And then post that, moving into the second half of the season with Sandringham at a VFL and at a senior level, he really demonstrated consistently being capable of playing on AFL listed players and playing very well. I mean, I think that the very clear trait with Tom is he's very composed and he has an ideal temperament for an AFL professional player, I think.
I've been mentored mostly by Craig McRae. We get duty of care coaches, and there's about 5 or 6 assigned to each coach, and I've got Craig McRae. He's been remarkable. He's taught me so much in such a little amount of time, and his understanding of where first-year players are at and what they need to address individually and generally, as all first-year players have to address.
That's really exciting, Tom. He comes into the system that's pretty raw, and we're teaching him to be a professional athlete and professional footballer, and his training standards are really coming on, but every game he plays right now, he's getting better. Right through the pre-season, his training standards just seem to improve. I was riding him pretty hard early. He thought he was going reasonably well with his intensity and his voice and his skill execution, but I keep challenging him, and he's getting better every session. So we're just looking for improvement, and right now that's what he's showing.
Yeah, he's been really good to me, and more specifically probably Ben Hart. Working down back with him, he's taught me a lot as well in terms of just defensive positioning and all that sort of structures and stuff like that.
I really like his composure for a guy coming and playing his first game. He's very understanding of the game and the scenarios that's happening around him, and he reads the play really well. So, when he gets the footy, he's composed. As I said, he made a couple of blues which aren't like him, but he certainly knows how to play the game. Through the pre-season, he just always did the right thing. He was always in the right place at the right time and just kept building. And probably when you're first looking at him, you would have thought he's not going to make the team, but there he is in round 1. So if he just continues to do that and building his game, then he should hang around for a while.
I think Tom's grown up a lot. I think I've noticed a difference since he's joined Collingwood. He just seems more grown up. He's more talkative. He's, I think, more confident in his ability and what he wants to do. I see Tom is a lot more relaxed than he's ever been. So, and I think all he needed was that feeling that he could do what he's doing has made him a lot more relaxed.
I guess if you take a step back and realise what you've achieved and what you've wanted to achieve for such a long time is finally done, it's kind of, you've got to take that next step now and really focus on another goal and continue to improve and continue to play football at AFL level, and obviously that's my goal for the future.
I think there's a lot of boys here that are looking to get back in the senior side. A few that played last week that are looking for a bit more fitness. We've got the first opportunity to represent the footy club since last Friday night, and it's sort of not something that the boys have taken lightly, even though it's only a practice match.
Boys, you're playing a team tomorrow that last year had a kicking efficiency of 53%. Now, if you bring that, what do you reckon will happen when they get the footy? They'll get it back, or we'll get it back? We'll get it back. Yeah, of course we will. Okay, if you bring that defensive attitude, okay, they'll get one crack at it, one go. We've just got to have, I talk about having a feel for the game. If they're going manic, and what tends to create manic is turnover. So if we disrupt the ball, okay, we'll want to go fast on turnover. If we lose possession of the ball, they'll want to go fast on turnover. And what happens, two teams start butting heads. You've just got to get you some composure back and just settle it down. It can be controlled and fast. Respect the opponent, but at the same time, I look across the room, VFL boys, another opportunity for you, another opportunity. We're 7 days away from the VFL season opening, and the AFL season's already started, and we've got 3 representatives that are still currently in the team. And I would say it's still a good chance to play next Saturday night. And there's guys chasing that want to get there. So I'd say the investment's extremely high.
I think there's a lot of boys here that are looking to get back in the senior side. A few that played last week that are looking for a bit more fitness. So it's a game of opportunities really, and there's VFL boys that are trying to cement a spot on the side, which is pretty exciting for them. At the same time too, we've got the first opportunity to represent the footy club since last Friday night, and it's sort of not something that the boys have taken lightly, even though it's only a practice match.
It's a practice match in the VFL, and we want to, as a team, perform all our structures and get everything right. And also there's a lot of individual challenges with blokes like Tyson Goldsack and Ben Kennedy, Sam Dwyer, these blokes who are going to push in and hopefully play in the one soon.
I've got no doubt they'll try to get you up the ground and they'll try to quick kick and get you over the back. So we've got to make sure we're positioning ourselves, okay? We can't get done over the back. Okay, so let's take the game on and be aggressive. Let's get some outnumber, open the space up and go really quickly. Had enough chat about it. It's another opportunity for us. It's another opportunity for them to play against a really talented team. But what you value the most. Okay, what you value the most. And that's what we're really interested to see. Okay, let's go. Have a good day.
Today I played mainly forward for myself, bit on the wing, bit in the midfield, so a bit all over the place. Personally I was pretty happy, obviously good to get another 4 quarters under the belt and working on that fitness and just trying to get as much match practice in as possible. Obviously had a late start to the pre-season, but to this date did a good solid block of training before I started playing, and today was my 3rd game, second full game, and yeah, I'll be putting my hand up for selection, but we'll see what happens during the week, and if the opportunity arises then hopefully I'm available.
I had a bit of patella tendonitis probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago now, I guess, so just sort of obviously had to modify my training for a bit, and now it's my 2nd game back, so as it stands now, I guess I'm right to play fully. I just need to get some match fitness and try and get a few kicks to put my hand up for seniors. Obviously, you always try and back yourself in, but that's obviously up for the coaches to decide. So, I guess that was my first full match in a while. So, the way AFL's played these days, you have to be pretty cherry ripe. So, we'll see how we go during the week.
We want slow play, slow play, slow play. Take the fast play off them, or take the corridor off them. They're bailing out every kick they get. All right, let's go. Finish it off. Go, lads.
Trying to get out what we need to get out of the game, which was fitness. I've only played kind of game and a half of pre-season, so for me it was play multiple roles and get that, get the K's and legs, So it was different. I haven't played on the wing for a while. I was mainly up forward and down back, but you got to kind of open up the legs a bit out there, so it was good. It was a good feeling, and hopefully we play some more footy up there. But yeah, hopefully I'll play next week. I played last week and I felt okay last week, and with the kind of split round, it gave me an opportunity to play a 2nd game. So get another kind of 10, 12 Ks in the league, which is a good opportunity, and get some bit better touch and just kind of reading the game and getting the game plan down pat. So yeah, it felt good, and hopefully I'm there Saturday night up in Sydney.
Pre-season, look, it's been positive. I think that pre-season's always positive for most teams, really. So we're no different in regards to that. Look, all we can really go on is what we've been able to deliver, how we've behaved and how we've acted throughout training and particularly in games. So, the 4 practice matches we've played, there's been some really positive signs. Regardless of the situation, regardless of what's going on, regardless of the opponent, you turn up. And that's the behaviour that we want. Now we know next week, particularly at AFL level, against Sydney and at VFL level, North Colorado, it'll be vastly different to that. So what we do, we take the positives out of it today, and there was plenty, okay, but there's areas that we continue to get better at. Look, our focus was all about creating good habits and behaviours, which are going to stand up under real pressure, and that was our focus going in. So we coached that sort of really aggressively today, not compromising on what's going to be required to be successful at either level, VFL or AFL level. So particularly the AFL boys that had played last week, but they had to, they wanted an AFL type performance. So we identified there's a few things that we need to continue to get better at. We'll speak about that throughout the course of the week, but as a whole, it was a pleasing performance.
Well, so it's great news this week with the announcement that Emirates has signed up for another 5 years, sponsoring Collingwood, which will take the sponsorship to 20 years, which will make it one of the longest sponsorships in Australian sport. Emirates, when they arrived in Australia to establish themselves as an airline, the Collingwood Football Club was the first sponsorship, and they've been a great support to the club, and also Collingwood's been a big driver of establishing their brand and credibility in Australia as well. So for another 5 years, we're going to see the Emirates logo appearing on the famous black and white striped jumper for the Collingwood Football Club.
Hello Emirates, together for 20 years.
For us, Emirates is the ideal sponsor of the Collingwood Football Club because they stand for excellence, which is something that the Collingwood Football Club also prides themselves on. So as a brand alignment, you couldn't get a better partner.
This week we get a chance to go out there. We've had a 2-week break and we're just going to hit in. We're going to hopefully win the game. We're going to go up there. We travel well together and we love travelling away, so we just got to get the job done.
Iron Edge, we've had an important partnership for going on 9 years now. It dates back, I think, when I first come on board as strength program coordinator. We initially bought a full set of kettlebells, and from there their product line has grown. And definitely as their product line's grown, it's really, I guess, suited the needs of our strength program, of how we've moved forward. Our philosophy is that we work on a model of non-linear periodisation. So pretty much what we do is we have days where we work on designated strength and designated days where we work on speed and power. And we divide that in upper and lower body. Try it, but we go a little bit higher and we'll stay at 60. So you can see you're like this, and then as soon as you get that, it's going to shear. Pretty much in season, we can get anywhere between 2 to 3 sessions in per week. I think technique is critical. In some ways, they're a competitive bunch of guys, so part of my role is keeping guys in check so they don't go too crazy. Chatting earlier with Bucks, it was really important for him to improve the guys' maximal strength, their repeat effort ability, I guess their ability to buffer lactate, and improve their power characteristics. There was a very strong relationship for the lower body power output and the guys' ability to run out games. Moving forward, coming from Bucks, it was pretty important that we put together a team that I guess had really strong power characteristics, and not only maintain those characteristics throughout the year but actually enhance them. And I guess the difference shift for this year is rather not to go into that maintenance phase or consolidate, but actually try and move forward.
Yeah, look, we had a really strong review of the game the Monday following. So it feels like it was last year a little bit, but we took some elements out of that. We really focused heavily on our defensive work over the pre-season. We've seen parts of it through the NAB, and definitely the first quarter against Freo was positive, but we just dropped away in our structures and our effort defensively, and that's been the main focus over the last 2 weeks.
Obviously the guys were disappointed and felt a bit sorry for ourselves the first few days after the Fremantle game, but that gets turned around pretty quickly, because if you're going to have a whinge about it and have a sook about it and put your head down and not get over it quickly, then it means you're not moving forward and you're not making a difference. And after a few days we put it behind us after we'd done the review and started looking at Sydney, but also the way that we want to train and the way that we want to play.
There's always a lot of focus on round one, as it is. But yeah, we've really been head down, bum up, and been focused on our next opportunity, which is Sydney this Saturday night. Once we completed review, we were focused forward on the next opportunity, and we've trained up pretty well, and we're looking forward to that next chance.
hugely important for us, particularly after losing week 1. We were bitterly disappointed with the result in the first game, and I know it is only one game and one round, but for us it was 5 months of training, and it looks like we've gone nowhere and we've had a bad result, but we know from what we've done internally that we've done a lot of work. We put up a poor performance, but we know that we're a lot better than that. We know that that's not what we're going to deliver in season 2014. So this week's huge for us, and obviously you don't want to go zipping 2 at any stage.
I think the main message is that we've just got to get in there and work harder and win the ball. We were pretty good in contested possessions on Friday night, but we weren't able to capitalise on any of that. So I think when we win the ball, we've got to make sure we use it well and then score.
Yeah, obviously we've both come off bad losses last week and we're both looking to bounce back, so it's going to be a big game. It is only round 2, but we want every game. Every game counts, so we want to win every game, and yeah, just stick to we've got a game plan in front of us, and if we stick to that, we're going to win. We haven't had a chance to go out there again and redeem ourselves, I guess. So this week we get a chance to go out there. We've had a 2-week break, and we're just going to hit in. We're going to go up there. We travel well together, and we love travelling away, so we just got to get the job done.
Yeah, since I've been here, travelling's always been something that has worked well for our side. We've got a good performance over the last sort of 10 years travelling. So having said that, though, we know how good Sydney are, and we know that they're a team that they've still got a lot of premiership players in their team from a couple of years back. We know that they've been a top 4 team the last few years, so we're just got to make sure we bring our A game, make sure we bring the kind of pressure that we brought in that first quarter against Fremantle.
Last Friday night was pretty disappointing, and it's not the way we wanted to start our season. So I think Saturday night's a good opportunity for us to turn that around.
If you're heading to the game in Sydney this Saturday night, get on down to the Kids Footy Clinic for 6 to 12-year-olds at Fig Grove, Sydney Olympic Park between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m, right before the big round 2 clash. Call 1300 Magpie to register.